first stop on today's episode is Me and Billy. Located in downtown Davenport, this place has a great open vibe to it. And I'm telling you right now, not only does it have a great feel, it's got some great food. But first, let's meet Billy. We're inside here at Me and Billy, and I've got the Billy here with me, Billy Collins, and we're here at the bar, and gosh, this is such a striking piece. You gotta tell me a little bit about it. Before we get going, tell me about this back bar.
Well, we were so fortunate to find it. This is a piece that was built in the 1890s in Dubuque, Iowa.
Okay. Oh, wow.
It spent 108 years in a small town over near Joliet, Illinois.
Interesting.
Then when that place closed, an antique dealer bought the front bar and back bar, took it to Atlanta and put it in a warehouse. Cleaned it up, and then he had an auction.
Yeah.
And we bought it over the phone at auction, and then a few weeks later, a buddy of mine and I flew to Atlanta and picked it up and brought it back.
Brought it in here. Oh man, this space. This is an incredible space that we got here. I mean, you're very open. It's very bright, and you have a space this size. You have to have a big statement.
You have to have a big piece to make a statement. This is our main dining room, and again, it was a big empty space, and my daughter had the vision for the colors and the scheme.
Yeah, this is a great space. I love how big and how airy it is. I love these giant windows.
Yeah, that's what everyone loves, are the windows.
It's so getting all of this natural light in, seeing the hustle and bustle of downtown Davenport. Yeah. So how long have you been in this space?
It'll be 8 years on November 11th that we opened.
8 years, so going strong.
Yeah.
Speaking of quite the space, this is. Where did we move our way into?
We call this room the Fair Haven.
So what are you using this space for?
We use it for a lot of different events. Everything from rehearsal dinners, wedding receptions. We've had retirement dinners in here, baby showers, all kinds of different events.
And everything looks great, and I'm sure it's going to taste great. I'm going to go meet up with Chef Brad and pop into the kitchen and see what we got cooking in there.
The main thing, everything we try to do is everything's in-house. All our sauces, we take the scratch method and really try to go through that with everything that we do.
Two things that really stand out to me at Me and Billy's. One has to be those big windows letting all that natural light in. Another has to be a kitchen so fresh they don't even have a freezer. Let's see what Chef Brad's cooking up. Okay, we're inside with Brad Neal here. He is executive chef, or head chef here at Me and Billy, and we're gonna go through what we're gonna be cooking. So, what do we got? Let's start here. What are we going into?
We're gonna start off with a salad. So we have our berry burrata, which is kind of a take on a caprese.
Tell me, so the flavor, we're looking for a pretty sweet dish?
It's not gonna be too sweet. I'm not a big fan of just being one-dimensional, so that's why you have a little bit of the onions in there to get a little bit of savoriness. But a lot of time, especially for spring, they really like to have everything available that would normally go with spring. So when you think of spring, you're thinking of fresh fruit, berries, things like that. And so we're just gonna tie everything in to that.
Yeah. So, okay, the name of this cheese is what?
Burrata. You cut into this, you're going to have a little bit of runniness and a little bit more creamy, I guess. Yeah. So it's almost like having heavy cream inside of mozzarella.
Oh, I'm not familiar with this at all. That's very interesting. Geez, I'm telling you right now, the colors, the vibrancy, it looks absolutely fresh.
And so then we're just gonna come back through, drizzle it on top, and then leaving that nice blank space to get a little bit of pretty there. And then we're topping it with a pan grattata, like I said, is just a Italian seasoned breadcrumb, just for a little bit of crunch.
Awesome, that looks amazing presentation.
All right, so next we're going to do a appetizer. So this is one of our lighter appetizers, and for our seafood option. So what we have here is we got a little bit of smashed avocado. We make this every day, so that way we can make sure it's actually fresh. So we're just putting that down on the bottom to make sure that we can actually get a steady base for this. So Napoleon is usually going to be some sort of stacked object. So then we have a crab salad. This is a lump crab and claw crab that goes into a mix with some peppers and more of a Spanish style spice or Mexican style spice. So we have poblano peppers, red bell peppers, cilantro, spices from there. Like I said, just a little bit of mayonnaise to give it a little bit of moisture.
More of a texture, keep its form?
It keeps it together better, but we don't want to really have a lot of mayo because what we want to do is give the crab
You're not making tuna salad over here.
Exactly. Then we have a chipotle mango sauce.
Okay.
So that's a little bit of the sweetness, and then you also get the heat from the chipotle, but we're trying not to overdo it so that grandma can even eat that appetizer. We don't want to get too hot.
You got to make it Iowa hot.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's what we're aiming for. And then at the end, we're going to top it off with a little bit more of the avocado mash.
But this looks absolutely fantastic. I'm ready to dig into that.
And so after that, we move it down there and we get a nice big stem of cilantro to give it a little bit more garnish. We'll take it down there and kind of finish it off.
All right.
So we're getting the whole ribeye. We're trimming off some of the fat, not all the fat, because we want the fat to be there.
You need that fat in there, man.
Obviously season it. The only thing that's going on this ribeye is salt and pepper. Just like any good meat, we're going to do salt and pepper.
Let the meat do the talking.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
So we got a Pain Toscano bread here, which is kind of similar to a sourdough. So we're getting that on there when we get a nice little sear on it.
And that's really thinly shaved.
Yep. Yeah. We don't want to be too chunky because also when you go to take a bite of it, you don't want half of it leaving your mouth and the other half on the sandwich.
Yeah.
We want it to be able to clear all the way. So we're looking like we're already getting some grayness there. So what we're going to do is go ahead and try to scoop that up, make sure it's nice and thin. Then to finish off, we're going to add our Munster cheese.
Munster.
And then we're going to let that finish off. We have our whiskey glazed onions. We make a lot of these a week, a lot of them. So the top of this, the heat from the onions help melt the cheese, so that way we're kind of keeping the meats protected a little bit. So we'll go ahead and grab that, pull it back my way, so it continues to heat, melt. Get a nice toasted
lovely
bread.
toast.
Bottom, we're getting some arugula, our bacon horsey mayo.
Show me that mayonnaise. Look at all of this, all that bacon that's in there.
Well, I think the main thing with coming up with this is, people love horseradish with their steaks. And people love bacon by itself, so might as well put them together, and that's basically what we did. So there we have our steak sandwich.
Brad, that looks incredible. I can't wait to get out there with Billy and go through this because the flavors sound incredible. I can't wait to see how they taste.
Wonderful. Thanks for stopping by.
Everything looks absolutely amazing. The salad, I love the presentation of it.
First of all, the way that Brad does things is just amazing. And he's so passionate about every single item that comes out of that kitchen.
Yeah, it shows. The how vibrant this salad looks. Remind me of the name of this cheese. It's the
Burrata.
Burrata. I'm going to cut into it. This is not something I've heard of before.
There's some things that he surprises me with.
This is all over the place in a good way. This is literally, between the creamy of the cheese, the crunch of the spinach, and the onion and the breadcrumbs, all of it's coming together really well.
It just works.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna jump over here. This crab Napoleon is, this is really handsome to look at.
Where else do you see it?
Right. I've never seen anything like this before, and I cannot wait to dive into this crab up.
I've always been interested in having a Napoleon, but I thought it would be a Napoleon dessert. And when he came up with this, I'm like, wow, another phenomenal dish.
That crab meat is spot on. It is full, flavorful. he's right. You know, he was talking about not adding a lot to it, really letting that crab shine, and it does. And the lovely little crunch of the peppers that are mixed in with the crab meat is also excellent. Let's move on to the ribeye sandwich that you've got here, which has been a staple for you.
Yeah, when Chef Brad came up with this version, you know, when I walk around to the tables and say, how is everything? I mean, the people just cannot say enough.
First and foremost, the beef. The beef's there, and it is flavorful, and it's got that lovely bit of fattiness to it, which tastes so good.
Yeah.
But everything else, I mean, and the crunch of the bread and that bacon horseradish sauce is on here. That's an excellent pairing.
You can start this sandwich with your hands, but eventually you're gonna have to have a fork to clean up the rest of your plate.
Well, Bill, you're doing a lot of things right here, and making sure that you've got the talent in the kitchen is something I'm commending you for, because this is absolutely wonderful food and really great flavors. Bill, thanks for having us in.
Thank you.